They didn't like the call. How do you argue that? That was clearly a foul.
And they're clearing the bench right now. But they don't have enough guys to substitute everybody out. And I mentioned this to Mark a couple games ago. I think everybody should be able to dress that's on your roster in the postseason.
There's 15 players on the roster. 12 are allowed to dress every game.
They're taking up spots on the bench. Why not allow them all? It should be a reward. Everybody should be able to dress.
Well, Brian Scalabrine is dressed.
That's not dressing, Brian. No, but I mean, I really think these guys work so hard during the year. Why not let them be in uniform?
107-88.
And these are important minutes for Sheldon Williams. Not knowing, as Rasheed Wallace is now going to the locker room as well, not knowing who's going to be available if it goes to Game 6.
Right, because Davis out with a concussion. If you're just tuning in, Kendrick Perkins picked up 2 technical fouls. That's an automatic ejection, but it happened to be his 6th and 7th technical of the playoffs as Wallace is going back to the locker room. And for Perkins, if that 7th technical holds, he would be suspended for the very next game, which would be Game 6.
I'm going out on a limb saying Kendrick Perkins, for those 2 technicals, he won't just get 1 rescinded. He's going to get both rescinded.
You're right. I agree. That should. Initially, looking at the first one, I thought it was a clear elbow. Looking at it again, I certainly agree. Both of those should be rescinded.
The league office will look at it tomorrow and make a decision. But again, you don't know Davis's his status, what that's going to be with the concussion. He was really shaken up after taking that elbow to the face from Howard, the inadvertent elbow. Lewis falling away. Tough shot. Short. Lost out of bounds. Magic ball. And just this turnaround, it's unbelievable what can happen during the course of an NBA playoff series. How one game can completely swing the perception. After Game 3, Orlando everybody said they were done. They got blown out, embarrassed in that Game 3 loss. But they come back, get that good hard-fought victory in Game 4. Now, if they hold on and win, the dynamics, the whole mindset of this series will change as Howard stepped out of bounds. Now the pressure starts to shift to Boston to win in their home court in Game 6.
Well, all the pressure will be on the Boston Celtics. No question about it. But give the Magic credit. Found a way to win one game and then win another one game. Now the mindset, it stays the same. It's not about this series. Win the next game.
You know what, though? I don't agree about the pressure per se. I really think, as Nelson fouls Robinson, these guys have been in real pressure games called the finals. So it's not like going home, they're going to feel this undue pressure and stress. They're just going to play well. And I think a younger team, a less experienced team may feel pressure. Not Boston.
Agreed, but how about you get in the Game 6, fourth quarter, you're down a couple of points, knowing that if you lose this game, you've got to go back, knowing that you could make history by being the first NBA team to lose a 3-0. I think it might seep into some guys' heads.
I think once you've won twice on a person's home court, look, I don't think home court in the playoffs is as big a factor as Jameer Nelson's doing his Meadowlark Lemonade.
Robinson gets inside. Well, certainly as the series goes on and you have your best teams, it seems to play less. But Game 7 on the home court is usually the factor. Not in the other games, but it's rare that a Game 7 is won by the road team.
And I don't think as a team you're thinking, hey, we were up 3-0. No, you're not thinking that. You're thinking, let's close this team out.
Petrus short.
You know, even Paul Pierce says we have to treat this game tonight as a Game 7. Well, you just lost Game 7.
Let's not forget, though, in Boston, it's going to be talked about if it winds up going. They've already had one of their teams, the Bruins, up 3-0 in the NHL playoffs, lose that series. Still a ways away from that, but right now, Orlando in control of Game 5.
7 or 6? Who threw 6 there?
I don't remember that, man. It hurts.
Did you ever feel in danger until Game 7?
No.
No. Because, but baseball, home court means nothing. Really. I mean, it's all about your pitching. You know, if you're, I mean, what are you going to do? Keep clapping as the guy's throwing it by people?
Right.
But they rocked them in Game 7, right? They knocked the ball all over the place, right?
Little girl. So cute. 107-90. The Orlando Magic in control, on the verge of making this series 3-2 with just under 3 minutes remaining. A reminder, defending Indy 500 champion Helio Castroneves and the stars of the Izon IndyCar Series return to the sport's biggest stage, the 94th running of the Indy 500 at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Indy 500 Sunday, May 30th at noon Eastern on ABC. Telecast presented by GoDaddy.com. The Eastern Conference Finals has taken a turn after Boston going up 3-0. They had lost Game 4 and a struggle here in Game 5. Kendrick Perkins picks up his second technical, automatic ejection in the second quarter. Then Glenn Davis takes a hard elbow, suffers a concussion, has to leave the game, does not return. Marquise Daniels whacks into Marcin Gortat, also a concussion, had to leave the game. And finally, Rasheed Wallace, he fouled out, went to the bench, but hurt his back. Suffered back spasms, and he goes back to the locker room. Eddie Lacerte, the head athletic trainer, talking to Doc Rivers, giving him an update, a long update with all that's happened. And Rivers has emptied his bench for the most part. Pierce remains in the game. Lewis back out to Carter. Lewis's shot is good. Lewis has come up big in the fourth quarter. Was quiet earlier, but has 9 points in the period, 14 for the game.
I'm going to be very interested to see what kind of game the Magic come with in Boston in Game 6. Are they happy just to have extended it and avoid the humiliation of a sweep, but they won a home game? I'm really interested to see what passion, what determination they play with.
Don't forget SportsCenter coming up next. They're a team that last year made the NBA Finals. They were hungry all year to get back, as Howard can't get it. And you forget sometimes last year the Finals, even though they lost in 5 games, 2 of those losses were overtime. They were right there battling the Lakers. This year was all about getting back to the Finals and taking the next step. And their dreams of a championship seem done after Game 3 of this series. But they are still very much alive, not only to advance, but of making NBA history. And they're a terrific road team. Remember last year in the conference semifinals, it was the Magic who won Game 7 on the road. Now it was different. They were down 3-2, wasn't down 3-0, but they won Game 6 at home and then Game 7 in Boston.
No, it's just great to watch playoff basketball. You look at the Western Conference, the Phoenix Suns, looking like they would, their life was taken away, playoff life. They found a way to get back in the series, and in the Eastern Conference, the Magic have responded in the same fashion.
Well, an impressive performance for the Orlando Magic as Sheldon Williams is fouled with 1:13 remaining. 3-0, you always hear about it. In the NBA, teams that are down 3-0 are 0-93. Hockey's happened 3 times, including this year. The Flyers defeating the Bruins. So the Boston fans a little sensitive about it. Of course, the Red Sox with that great comeback against the Yankees, but it has never happened in the NBA. Stan Van Gundy saying yesterday, it's